Well, ADHD is a condition that most people usually associate with children and teens, but adults can have it as well, even if they've never been diagnosed in their youth. This morning, Dr. Kevin Ross Emery, an author and international speaker on ADD and ADHD, is here to tell us more. First of all, define ADHD for us.
I define ADHD as part of the evolutionary process broadening the bandwidth of humanity. They were the architects of the 20th century. We're talking Einstein, Edison, Graham Bell, all the way up to Steve Jobs, Robin Williams. They gave us all of this that we function in every day.
So it's not always negative, you're saying?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. In fact, I even question the whole disability label. There are so many things. You know, these people did all of this without labels and without medication. What they did, though, is they realized they didn't fit in the normal mold. And they broke out. Edison, at the age of 12, was deemed inappropriate for school and went on to do 1,093 patents because he didn't get educated.
So how prevalent is adult ADHD?
Probably, we're talking the latest statistic, and with adults, it's you know, the numbers are changing constantly, and their accuracy actually is a little off. They're saying anywhere between 7 and 9 million.
So are people getting it later in life, or they just weren't diagnosed when they were younger?
Well, yeah, there's really no such thing as adult onset ADHD. It's something you're born with. I mean, you're born and you think differently. People often don't understand that ADHD is actually thinking differently. You solve problems differently. You're very brilliant, high energy, creative, but there are many things out there in our modern day that exacerbate it into these, you know, I call it going from gift to curse.
So tell us some of the symptoms and traits.
Well, some of the symptoms is they either have two settings. They either hyperfocus or they multitask. So when they're really interested, because again, we're talking very brilliant, very creative mind, and it wants to solve a problem, it wants to invent something, it wants to create something. So it will hyperfocus when you've got its attention. If it doesn't think you're worth the attention you want, then what happens is it's multitasking. It's got several things going on because it's trying to find something interesting, and that's why sometimes they'll check out. What they'll hear is wah, 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 because you're really not keeping their attention. It's not that they don't have it, you're not keeping it.
And also organizationally challenged and having trouble starting and finishing projects, I understand.
Absolutely.
That's a trait.
One of the things is that the ADHD mind needs just enough structure from which to fly. Not enough, it doesn't get off the ground. Too much and it will self-destruct. So there's this bandwidth of structure in which it flies. And in fact, a perfect example is Steve Jobs, think different, Apple, went out and created this huge thing, did fabulous until they put him in an overly structured CEO place, and then they fired him.
So do you just need to find something that works for you that's not so structured?
Yes, and it's a level, it's a bandwidth of structure that you go back in between. And as we all know, they hired Jobs back to be brilliant instead of be CEO.
Okay, there's so much more we could talk about with this, but we're out of time. Thanks so much for coming on the show, and you can find out more at mydrkevin.com. That's DR for doctor, mydrkevin.com. Thank you.
Thank you.